Okay. A block of mass 6 kg is sliding down a line of greatest slope. If they have not given you the diagram, try to make yourself one, because that would help you understand the forces, the situation better. So this is the sliding down the line of greatest slope at a plane inclined at 8 degrees. So look, this was 8 degrees. So that's why I made the slope which is small. Okay, the smaller slope. The coefficient of friction between the plane, between the plane and the block is zero point 0.2. The block is of mass 6 kg. And that's it. Find the deceleration of the block. Okay. The is sliding down a greater slope at an incline. Okay. Given that the initial speed of the block is how far the block travels. Mm-hmm. Find the deceleration of the block. Deceleration? Sliding down. It would be accelerating. Why would it be decelerating? Okay, if we make the components, this would become mg sine 8, and the component which is perpendicular to the plane, the weight component, this would be 6g cos 8. Okay, and then we find the f max is equals to mu n. N would be simply opposing this weight component perpendicular to the plane. So n is equal to 6g cos 8. Therefore, the f max would be equal to 0.2 times 6g cos 8. Use the calculator. 0.2 times 6 times 10 times cos 8. So you are getting 11. F max is 11.883. Okay. Now what is the weight component? The weight component is, so if we do the F is equals to MA, the forces which are sliding it down, which are pushing it down, it is 6g sine 8. And definitely they told us that the block is sliding down. So this means that the friction would be upwards. Okay, this would be the friction upwards, because the object is sliding down. Friction is always opposing the motion. So negative, how much is this? 11.883 is equals to ma, 6 times acceleration. So 6 into g into sine 8 minus 11.883. This answer divided by 6. So that's why we were getting a negative value. Look, acceleration is negative 0.588589. So this means the deceleration is 0.589 meter per second square. Okay, that's why they asked you for the deceleration. So the situation was in such a way. The object was originally, they are telling you that the object is sliding down, but because of the friction is higher than the weight component. So the friction is trying to stop it. Okay, so that's why it was causing a deceleration upwards, because the resultant force was upwards. Then they have told us, given that the initial speed of the block is 3, find how far the how far the block travels. So initial speed over here is u is equals to 3, which is downwards. Acceleration is upwards, which is right now we have found 0.589. They are asking us how far does the block travel. So definitely the deceleration would try to reduce the velocity. So the velocity of the block would reduce up until it would get to 0. So let's suppose the block comes in over here and the final velocity becomes 0, and the block is now static, because friction F max is greater than the weight component. So this block won't be falling down more. Okay, so this means that 2as is equals to v square minus u square. Acceleration, now we know it is negative 0.589. As we want to find it out, because that's what they had asked you. They had asked us how far the block is traveling. Final velocity is 0. Initial velocity is 3. So 3 square. So you find the value of S now. So kinematics can also be included over here. Okay. So minus 9 divided by 2 times minus 0.589. So you are getting 7.64 meters. This is how far the block will move down the plane. And then the block will come at rest because the friction is trying to stop it. And then when the velocity is zero, the block just stops moving. Okay, it becomes static. Try to understand the situation. Build a situation in your mind how the things are working over here.